Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Let's seek the truth and travel the long road to justice together. What you know, Alibuyers, welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. Good to have you here. It's Tuesday. We had a very brief day in the Robert Tellis trial. We're going to sum it up quickly here in a second. But first, if you're watching on YouTube, you know the drill. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, share it with your friends, and you can ring my bell if you want notifications of when I post new content. Just click that little bell icon. Music fact of the day. What was the first Beach Boys song to hit #1 in the US? That is I Get Around. They did hit #1 in Sweden 2 years before that with Surfin' Safari. Today was very brief with the defense starting their case. They've had a problem with their witnesses not being there. We had this first witness, Dr. Mark Chambers. He is in clinical psychology. He was retained to talk about people who attempt self-harm who are facing charges. He says this is not very common. Less than 1 in 1,000 suspects do this. He said it's not necessarily an indication of a guilty conscience. The stress of being accused of a severe crime can cause someone to attempt it whether they're guilty or not. He acknowledges that Robert severely injured his arms. On cross, they asked what he reviewed for his testimony. He was sent discovery in the case, police reports, medical reports. He also reviewed witness statements. He said he was retained for this case late last year. He interviewed Robert 2 times, the first being earlier this year and then last Saturday. He did not record the meetings with Robert, but he did take notes. She asked the witness if the court asks for those notes, could he provide them? Yes. They asked if he interviewed anyone else. Nope, just Robert. The first one lasted about 3 hours and the second about an hour and a half. He did not administer any tests to Robert. So the state asked, you're getting your information from one source? Yes. Then the state asked, could an attempt also be an indication of a guilty conscience? Yes. State goes through some scenarios, a fall from grace. Could that be a factor? He says yes. Finances, employment, all of that could factor in. There was a jury question that was very telling. Could someone do this to gain sympathy from being accused? The witness says yes, especially when the attempt isn't successful. He said people do self-harm gestures where it looks like an attempt, but it's not fatal, and sometimes that is to deflect attention. Follow up by the defense. We're not saying that's the case here. No. The next witness, who is on screen now, Tracy McGlory, she called police after seeing a video of the suspect released in the media and said she had previously seen this person at Bruce Trent Park. This was on August 28th, so days before the murder, around 4:30 in the evening. This person was fully clothed from head to toe, wearing black gloves, had sneakers on, a straw hat, and carrying a black duffel bag. She said what caught her attention was he was walking across the children's play area and then went into the men's restroom. She said she could tell this was a male by the way he walked, and she was concerned with how the person looked regarding the children that were present in the park. She called on September 7th after seeing the surveillance video in the media. She says she was never contacted by investigators. On cross, they asked if she saw his face. She said she saw it when he was running towards another park and his hat was coming off. It was a light-skinned male who was bald. She was driving at the time she said she saw his face. The person was going away from the park, and she said she was about 30 feet away. She said it creeped her out the way he was moving his hands. She did not elaborate on that. Now, the witness had typed notes on the stand, so the state asked for that and asked if she typed it. She said her husband did. It was just about the dates and times. She did not make a follow-up call and didn't see the person in the area again. She said from the time she saw him in the park to the time that she saw him on the road, it was around 30 minutes total that she had eyes on this person. She said the hoodie was tight on this person's face, and that was odd to her. That was it. That was the end of the day. One of their witnesses had a flight delay, so we will pick back up again tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern. I'll be live streaming, so come hang out with us. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. We will see you soon.